All right, today we're talking about vacations, how much to budget for them, how much you should spend, how to enjoy them without guilt, all here on this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. All right, when you're thinking about vacations, the first question I want you to ask yourself is, what's my motivation for taking a vacation? Okay, what's your why? And why this is important, I love this, because it's gonna help you understand so much when it comes to even the tactical side of budgeting. So your why might be that you just wanna be with your family. It might be that you're going on a new adventure, you wanna experience something new. Maybe it's stress relief. Maybe it's to put some great pictures up on Instagram. Maybe it's just to escape from reality because you hate your job. Maybe it's because you've been cooped up all pandemic and you're just so ready just to be out. I don't care, whatever it is. To know your why is so important because it's gonna help you shape your budget. For instance, if it's just to be with the kids and enjoy the kids, that's probably telling you a deeper desire you have is to spend more time with your kids in general. So maybe you even throughout the week find times to actually spend with them. And then when you go on vacation, you don't feel like it has to be like the best of the best of the best because you're already getting your desire met throughout the year. Or maybe it's because you're celebrating a big anniversary or a baby moon or something really fun. And you're like, okay, no, this is gonna be a destination for a specific thing. So then you think, okay, well, maybe we'll spend a little bit more because it's, we're celebrating something. Again, the point is to let your vacation reflect your values. Winston and I, we do this too. Sometimes we're like, no, we're getting away with just the two of us because we have not spent time together. And we spend more money on things like food because we enjoy nice dinners out, all of that. We will spend good money on that. Now when we're with the kids and we're going, I'm great with like, hey, just stop by a Chick-fil-A, like do what we gotta do. Because if we spend all this money on a really nice dinner, I'm gonna be stressed the whole time thinking like, oh my gosh, is someone gonna cry or freak out or all of it, right? It's not worth it. But again, the value of why we're doing what we're doing is going to reflect the money you spend and where you spend it. Now, the next thing I want you to focus on is your mindset. You wanna be intentional with this because this can go like one or two ways. I'm gonna use the example just like with kids, okay? When you're on a trip with your kids, and a lot of people say, yeah, it's a trip, it's not a vacation. I appreciate that. Some people are like, oh, it's just miserable. It's terrible. We're just picking up what we've been doing and we're just going somewhere else and it's not as fun. And if that's your mindset going into vacation, that's probably gonna be your attitude. That means you're spending money to have this attitude the whole time, okay? Like that's one extreme. The other extreme is people are like, oh no, all my problems are gonna disappear. And my baby who's waking up at 3 a.m. is not gonna wake up at 3 a.m. in Florida. So we're gonna go to Florida because it's gonna be perfect and it's gonna be amazing. And then when it's not perfect and amazing and things start to unravel with the kids, suddenly your whole vision and this dream you had painted in your head is gone and now you're mad and you're frustrated and you're paying money for all that too, okay? So what I'm saying is just go in with a realistic mindset of what's happening. And I think that's just really wise. I used to be a little bit of a wah-wah with kids on vacation and be like, oh my God, it's so stressful, it's so hard, it's so tiring. And is it those things? It is, but if that's my attitude, that's how I'm gonna feel versus saying, you know what, we're gonna take the kids, it's gonna be some extra work, but we're gonna do what we can to have fun, enjoy the moments, watch them have fun, right? Like think about your attitude because you're paying money to be somewhere. So we want a good, realistic attitude. Just want to throw that in there as well. Now, at Ramsey Solutions, we do tell you no vacations during baby step 1 and baby step 2. So baby step 1 is getting a $1,000 emergency fund. Baby step 2 is getting out of all your debt except for your house. Because these are two really important steps that you want to focus and be very, very intense on because we want you out of debt as quickly as possible, which means you're gonna sacrifice your lifestyle, and part of that is vacations. So no extra money goes out when you're in those baby steps. It is all focused on completing baby steps 1 and 2. Now, it is okay to cash flow a vacation in baby step 3, which is getting 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. But I do want you to get through baby step 3 as quickly as possible because I don't want you sliding back into debt. So again, you can do it, but don't make it like the most beautiful, expensive vacation in the world until you have baby step 3 done. And then after that, you can go on some nicer vacations, when you're on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. And then when you're on 7, it's great because at that point, You got nothing to do with money except to give it, invest it, and spend it. So you can enjoy there. Now, vacations are interesting because they pluck you out of your reality and your day-to-day of life. But what comes of those is, I think, where it's invested, right? And so, I mean, I look back on my life and we never took vacations growing up. We went camping and Dad would tie our boat to a tree and we'd have a tent. And that's what we do. And I didn't know anymore, when I was a kid, and it was great. It was fun. It's just what you did. I'm not much of a camper these days, and I'm gonna blame it on my childhood wounds. but I look back and I'm like, they got what they wanted out of that, right? My parents wanted time away. They wanted just to be with us kids, and that's what we got. And when they started doing a little bit better, we went on different vacations, when I was middle school, high school. And then when Winston and I got married and him and I had to pay for vacation starting out at 21, 22 years old. We had no money. We didn't go to a lot of places. We went for 1 or 2 nights, even if we went somewhere. Low budget, but it was great because we just wanted to, it was all about adventure at that season of life. We're we just want to go somewhere new. That was our big thing. We just want to go somewhere new we've never been. Didn't matter where, just somewhere new. And then, you kind of go through life. You have a baby, 2 babies, 3 babies. That changes. And then now, we've been married 12 years, 3 kids. So now when Winston and I go, we're back to the idea that we can't go for very long because we got kids back home. We'll go for 3 nights somewhere, but we'll go somewhere nicer because our budget's bigger now after 12 years of marriage, right? So you'll start to see how vacations change in different seasons, and whatever season you're in, it's beautiful. Okay, that's the bottom line. And know your why. Know your why, because that's gonna help you see, yes, I'm going just because I don't like my job and I don't want to go to my job. If that's really why, then it doesn't really matter where you go. You can go anywhere and you're not at your job if you're taking your vacation for that reason. If it's an adventure, whatever the reasons are, that's what's important to know. Every season's different and every season is beautiful in its own time, in its own way. All right, next, let's look at the budget when it comes to your trip. So what you want to do is you want to list out every category you can think of when it comes to vacation, and you can use EveryDollar for this, our budgeting app. Think about transportation. Is it flights, gas, rental cars, Ubers? Think about your lodging. Are you staying at a hotel or an Airbnb? Think about your food. Are you going out to eat? Are you buying groceries? Think about some snacks you may need. Excursions. Are you going on a tour? Are you gonna go sightseeing? Are you gonna go play golf? If you're shopping, think about the outfits you need. Maybe you need a special outfit for a special occasion when you go to your vacation. Or maybe if you wanna go buy some souvenirs. Also think about cash for tips. This is a big one. So if you're staying at a hotel, you may wanna tip your maid. Tour guides, if you take those, or bellman. So think through everything that you're gonna spend money on. And then you're gonna add that up and get the total. And then you're gonna divide that of how many months until your vacation. And then you're gonna set that number aside every month to save up. So you can do it that way, or maybe you decide, okay, no, I have X amount to spend on vacation. And then from there, you go and divide it out through the categories and know. So it can be one way or the other, but the idea again is that you're paying with cash. That's the biggest idea. And when you're saving a little bit each month, I love that because that's basically a sinking fund. And it's really nice because you're saying, okay, no, it's going here, here, and here. And it helps you plan over a period of time for a big, extravagant, fun purchase that you're gonna make there on your vacation. You lose the guilt that's associated with a large purchase, because sometimes when you gotta put that deposit down or you're paying for the hotel or whatever, you're like, ooh. But when you just save up over a period of time, it feels like, yes, this is a marathon, like we're doing this. We've saved up, we've spent the time and the money, and we know this is the money we have. And then of course, best of all, you come home from vacation with no debt because you've saved up and paid for it. It's a beautiful thing. And I wrote a really super detailed article all about how to plan a trip on a budget. And I'll include the link in the show description, or you can just Google how to plan a trip, Rachel Cruze, and the article pops up there too. So if you're planning a trip, whether it's for now or maybe next year, I wanna know where you're going. Traveling and trips is, it's a love language of mine. I love it. So I don't care if it's a budget road trip or maybe a luxurious getaway. I don't care, I wanna know. So you can tell me your plans in the official Rachel Cruze community on Facebook. Again, I love getting ideas from people. I'm curious what you're doing. So I hope this has been helpful when it comes to planning your vacations. You're doing it in a mindset that is good, your motivation is good, your heart is good in it, and also your money. That piece of it is good as well, which it needs to be for you to really, really enjoy it and come home with just memories instead of a credit card bill. So again, hope this was helpful because I want you to take control of your money and create a life you love.